So a couple videos back, I was going to start a whole series of videos just about the program we've got running in the left side of our brain. I call it Mind 1.0 because it's never been updated in maybe 40,000 or so years. And so one of the things I do is try to help people see that the program isn't who they are and that there's something really wonderful behind and beyond the program. And it's really their true self, not this program masquerading as the ego. And so I got a few exercises, and instead of philosophizing too much, I thought I'd just get into some exercises. So I did a couple of these last night in an online class, and they worked out pretty well. So let's get into it. So we'll start off with a really simple exercise. Just count to 5 in your head. And I know it might seem silly if you're watching the video, but just pause it and literally just count to 5 using your inner voice. Super easy, right? Now, the reason the exercise is so important is because when you did it, it felt like it was you, like you were controlling the voice in the head. And that's the real interesting part about this, because what that does is it sets up a situation where you can start to identify with that voice because it's so cooperative. So this Mind 1.0 program has times where it can be really cooperative, and that's what brings us into the illusion that it's who we are. So okay, if it's who we are, then we should be able to control it. That was one of the main points that the Buddha made in his No Self lecture. So if it's really you and you can control it, then these next two exercises shouldn't be difficult at all. So let's do another one. So I'm going to I'm just going to mention 2 letters, and I don't want you to say the third one to yourself using the voice in the head. So just let me say the first 2 and then let the third one go blank. If you've got control over it, this should be a really easy task. Now, remember, the Mind 1.0 program is all about perceiving patterns because that was really useful to our ancestors. So here's the pattern. A, B. I can almost bet anything that in your head you heard C. And there's probably nothing you could do to stop that from happening. It's very similar to when we say, don't think of the number 13. Or don't be anxious. Well, here's another one that's really easy. Well, it's easy to fail. I'm going to give you just some words on a piece of paper. Look at them, but don't read them. In other words, just control the voice in the head and don't let it read them while you look. Pretty impossible, right? In cognitive science, they call this automatic processing. Well, that's fine, because it is automatic. It's automatic in the same way the computer program. Once it's turned on, it automatically runs its course. And so I'm going to come back. I'm going to do a couple more exercises for you, because philosophy isn't going to help us recognize the mind program. You can't think your way out of a thinking problem. But these simple exercises that we fail may help us see exactly who we are not.